Fantasy Waiver Wire.
You gave us Jackson Dart last week. He spit out an all-timer performance. So let's find the next Jackson Dart. What do you got?
Yeah, well, the next Jackson Dart is Jackson Dart because for some reason this guy is still rostered in only 42% of 12-team Yahoo leagues. I know a lot there, at this point in the season, there's a lot of dormant leagues out there, a lot of home leagues that aren't too serious. But if you need a quarterback, if you're in a competitive league and Jackson Dart is available, just pick him up. That's it. That's pretty much the pitch. I'll talk about his points, but that's it.
It's a good pitch.
I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what we're doing. I replaced Cam Ward with him, and I haven't looked back. Tons of bye weeks in week 8. So if you don't need any of these guys, I might not break the bank or burn a top overall waiver wire ad. Most of these guys are probably going to be for fantasy teams who are missing some considerable players with 6 teams on bye. But first overall has got to be Kyle Monangai for the Bears. He's only 7% rostered, so he's out there. He's basically free. Doubled his production on the season on Sunday. Through 5 games, he had 81 rushing yards. He's got 162 in the year now. Swift is still the clear lead back, but both were efficient. There's no turning back to a one-headed monster now. It's going to be the two-headed committee. Projections aren't really reflecting this quite yet. 5.1 PPR points, 21.3 rushing yards. But 19.9% anytime TD probability is Monangai's highest we've seen on the season. And if this is a split, he just probably won't be available for much longer. So take him, stash him. If you don't need him, keep someone else from getting him. Next one is a guy.
Not to jump in, but just quick. I've had him stashed since the draft in a 12-team league that I'm in, largely because of my belief Ben Johnson is a 2 running back guy. He is. He's done this his entire time in Detroit. We're seeing that come. Monangai got a few chances very early in the season. I thought he's been good from like a yards per carry perspective. He passes the eye test. Swift is dynamic. He's great. But if you think to the way the Detroit Lions ran under Ben Johnson for 2 years, they want the dynamic skill, big play guy, and then they want the run into a wall, seek out contact guy. That's what Monangai is. He runs like Isaiah Pacheco. I think this is going to take a big leap at some point in the next month. It might as well be now. If he's available, it's the time to jump in.
Yeah, great addition there, Greg. That is a really good point because I didn't even think about the Ben Johnson factor here. Just thinking purely on a who you need to roster perspective, and that's a great point. Next guy is, you probably don't even need to pick him up this week. He's not playing this week. Bam Knight for the Cardinals. This is the first game he didn't score since getting work after the Connor and Benson injuries, but he took 14 carries for 57 yards. That was his biggest workload, most efficient, and far outproduced Michael Carter's 7 carries for 11. So if you are a running back needy and can stash a guy, that's who I would go with, but keep in mind he's not playing this week. Couple wide receivers here. Troy Franklin of the Broncos, 21% rostered. He's wide receiver 2 in Denver. Now he's going to get the Cowboys defense, who have let second and third guys put up numbers all season long, except for this past week. Projected 6.8 PPR points, 30.2 receiving yards, 19% touchdown probability. Wide receiver Kayshon Boutte, Patriots, 33% rostered, so on the higher end here. Only 2 targets last week, which is his lowest usage since week 2, but he has 3 touchdowns over the past 2 games. Continues to emerge, projects for 8 PPR points and a 22% TD probability this week. Tez Johnson for the Bucs, another wide receiver, pretty high up on my radar. He's only 17% rostered. Mike Evans is now likely out for the season or just about all of it with a broken collarbone. Egbuka looks hampered by the hamstring still a little bit. You're getting a free piece of this Baker offense if you pick him up. Touchdown in back-to-back weeks, big plays. 7.1 PPR points, 21% TD probability. I already mentioned Jackson Dart, pretty much of the QB. Only one I would be jumping to add this week. Everyone else is just a streamer at best. And then arguably the ad of the week, tight end Oronde Gadsden for the Chargers. 5% rostered, back-to-back big games. Just had one of the best tight end performances in years on Sunday. 14 of 17 targets for 232 yards and a touchdown over his past 2 weeks. Maybe most notably, he's 3rd in target share and ran routes on nearly 80% of Herbert's dropbacks in those games. Projected for 9.1 PPR points, the most out of these guys, save for Jackson Dart. just under 40 yards and a 20% touchdown probability. Seemingly came out of nowhere, this guy. I've admittedly been less plugged into the sleepers than I have been in the past this year with fantasy, but yeah, out of nowhere, and a pretty crowded offense already, and he's producing.
Yeah, it's impressive. It has been wild to see his emergence in recent weeks. All right, bunch of good names there. I am partial to the Tez Johnson shout, to be honest with you. Almost found the end zone twice this week on Monday night. I think the Evans injury is going to be everything to that offense. He's such a reliable horse, and the big caveat here might be the offense may take a major step back without him. We've seen Emeka sort of stagnate in recent weeks after that stellar first month of the year. I still love Emeka Ibuka. Tez Johnson may be the one recipient of it, though. If he's going to get all the attention with Mike Evans out, Emeka, that is, you got to have the big play threat that can beat you over the top. Even if it's one catch for 60 yards and a touchdown, that's more than enough to pay off your ROI for a little waiver ad here. So I like the shouts. Good names, Dave. Thank you, as always. Great intel. We do our waiver wire every single week. We want to help you win your bets. We also want to help you win your fantasy league.